Apologies if I don't sound 100% right now. I'm getting over the virus, and I really just wanted to put out this video because I'm super excited about Cyber-Scion. Currently, Onyx Path is doing the Mythic Shards Kickstarter, which has funded and is going to be bringing us Cyber-Scion. And you may be asking yourself, what is Cyber-Scion? Generally, the theme is cyberpunk dystopia with mecha and kaiju. And if you dig giant robots, please press the like button down below and we'll get into the setting. In this setting, instead of scions being inheritors of godlike power, in 1978, this material called ambrosia started appearing in all these different mines across the world, and a rare few individuals had their blood transformed into something called ichor, which turned them into these people called scions. Ambrosia led to the creation of things known as ATEC, which are devices that resonate with the mythological symbology of the past. So if you wanted to create a power generator, you put Thor's hammer on it and suddenly it has a lot more energy capacity and stuff like that. Then they created stuff called the divine machines, which are the humanoid mecha. And the metal sort of wanted to be shaped like that, is what the engineers said. These giant robots are piloted by normal people, but can also be piloted by scions who resonate with the machine, giving it extra abilities. So there are plenty of divine machines that can be piloted by normal people, but when scions use them, they're sort of like your Gundam pilots versus your mobile suit pilots in Gundam, if you're familiar with that anime. This led to the Ambrosia Wars, which caused a lot of megacorps to be formed, known as the Titans of Industry, and they hoarded ATEC, Ambrosia, and the divine machines. After the war, giant monsters known as kaiju began to appear on Earth and feast on ambrosia. They have a lot of similar forms to mythical monsters of legend, but there are also humans who are mutated into monsters of legend called denizens. So you might have people like spider folk or minotaurs and such who are just normal people. There are 6 main megacorps of the Titans of Industry, though you could probably make your own. There's Theotechnics Limited, a corporation with deep pockets, but a tangled mess of bureaucracy. You have the International Promethean, a huge ambrosia supplier that often uses corporate espionage against its clients, but due to its access to ambrosia, it's hard for its competitors to go elsewhere. The Tactica D, which are military-minded manufacturers of low-cost divine machines that focus on function over design. Atelier Ambrosia, which is a mine-to-mech manufacturer that took over a freehold in order to sell its efficient and uninspired products to national governments. This reminds me a lot of how Boeing was taken over by a company that was just all about efficiency as opposed to safety. Then you have Solopsium, an unethical corporation that specializes in ATEC waste and kaiju biosample reclamation. And they are creators of heretical experiments, which is great for plot seeds, I think. If you're looking into what can inspire you for this setting or inspired this setting in general, you can look no further than Pacific Rim, Evangelion, Gundam, specifically Gundam the Witch from Mercury, which I feel like I have to check out because it sounds a little bit supernatural from what they've described. Then there's Godzilla, Ultraman, Super Sentai, Power Rangers, and then for the cyberpunk elements, you have Ghost in the Shell, Shadowrun, and Neuromancer. Comment below your favorite mech or kaiju media, and I'll give it a thumbs up and check it out. If you're interested in the rules, the scions are all pre-visitation, and they get to choose 3 callings but don't assign dots to them. The pilots don't have access to Nax, Legend, or Legendary title, as they're part of the Divine Machines now. Then there is a virtue tracker that applies to the pilot, but its effects can also extend to the divine machine. And then Scent the Divine can be used to identify pilots. The divine machine template rules are as follows. Divine machines and pilot must share the same pantheon. The qualities of the mecha are size and durability scale 3, but it can be adjusted with some knacks. Range and close combat attack pools are pilots, firearms plus dexterity, and close combat plus might or dexterity respectively. One of these pools is specialized and gains +5 dice to a minimum of 10 dice total. Other pool gains 3 dice to a minimum of 8 total. So you're always doing a lot of damage regardless of how your pilot is kitted out. Your defense pool is your pilot's highest resilience ability, +3 to a minimum of 5. You have 8 health. Your legendary rating starts at 1, fully refreshes when the pilot leaves the machine, and can be upgraded. It gains a legendary title, which only applies to the pilot if it's currently using a divine machine with that title. Then it has 2 purviews and the machine's Pantheon's signature purview. Marvels can be performed while using divine machines, but not outside of it. Divine machines require a scene of harmonizing with it to sync the machine with the pilot, and then the pilot gains all purviews associated with the divine machine even when not piloting it. You can harmonize with a different mecha to get different purviews, as far as I can tell. And then divine machines have submodules, which can only apply. You can only apply submodules that align with the pilot's calling or are general. For the heroic mecha, you have a legendary rating of 1 to 4. For demigod, you have a legendary rating of 5 to 8. And for demigods, they're also scale 4 instead of scale 3. May perform casual miracles while piloting, gain access to dominion stunts when piloting, and while in divine machines, pilot and the divine machine gain access to divinity dice. Now, there are god tier mecha or divine machines, but those rules are really meant for like a final blow type situation. I'm not going to go into them too much, and there has to be a reason for you to check out the PDF when it comes out, or the manuscript once it's previewed, which I believe it has been. When creating a divine machine, you choose a Pantheon and gain the inherent property from the Pantheon's signature purview. 1 legendary title for the mecha, 2 purviews and gain their inherent abilities. You design a motif, which is the equivalent to a relic, and then you select 4 calling type submodules from the 3 callings that your pilot has. Then you choose a signature weapon, which gets a +1 enhancement to start with, and 3 points of weapon tags. I can't go over all of the submodules, again, because I don't want to give it all away, but for the general ones, you have Analyze the Divine, which allows you to sort of scan your enemy for details about what they can do. Then you have Hymn to the Divine Machine, which allows the pilot to summon a divine machine anywhere they are. And then Weapon of Calling, which allows you to summon the signature weapon of the mecha, as well as a pilot-sized version if you want to just have it for a normal fight scene. Last thing I want to talk about is the collateral pool. It starts at 0 dice, and then you add 1 die when players perform a miracle, perform a feat of strength, a feat of scale, make any roll enhanced by scale except for Divine Machine versus Divine Machine. I don't know if this means Divine Machine versus Kaiju as well. Rolling divinity dice, failing to buy off complications, certain stunts, and special flares or antagonist abilities also add to the pool. After 10 dice have been added, you then add +1 enhancement instead for each additional die that's supposed to be added. At the end of combat, or after each round of combat, the last player to add dice to the pool rolls all dice, and the story guide chooses the effects. These are effects that are essentially stunts that the story guide can buy. You have Echo, which changes the field based on the rolling player's purview. Harm, which causes damage to a main character or a number of trivial bystanders. Insight, which causes increased difficulty to some social interactions with bystanders who see the player's destruction as reckless, essentially. And then there's Pin, which traps a major character or some bystanders nearby. These are things that essentially the players can then like try and save them before they're killed by the end of the scene or something like that. Then you have Raise, which destroys an object established in the field. Rift, So raise could destroy a building. Rift creates basically a portal that causes a overworld or underworld, terra incognita, or other cosmological place to displace reality for one scene. And then there's scatter, which causes trivial and non-magical targets to flee. Additionally, as a bonus for the collateral pool existing, players can get a +1 to 5 enhancement to a single action if they want to, but the amount of the enhancement gets added to the collateral pool. Then there's also Devil's Bargain, which means once per session, collateral that would have been added to the pool is added to tension instead. Now, I'll need to look up the tension rules for when I play this later, but that sounds like something I really want to check out. And if you really want to see how this game plays, I'm going to be playing it July 26th at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Onyx Path's Twitch channel, so please check it out when you can. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Down below you'll find some links to Scion material that you can check out, as well as the Kickstarter. And if you want to check out more about Scion itself, I'm going to put a video here for me covering Scion heroes on this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.